Hey guys, it's Spike, and I know it's been a while since we've done one of these pandemic life videos, but I have been busy working on the deck, and yeah, the seating is finished, but now we're working on the barrier in the back. Now, one of the steps that I'm going to be doing for that is to create the frame for that particular barrier. And I already have a video being set up for that, so I'm actually a little ahead on this, so once I get that done, you'll be able to see the full thing. But one of the parts of the frame that I need to do, I'm going to be using a 2x4 as the upper part of that frame. The problem is, I don't have any 2x4s, and all the home improvement stores that I've been looking at nearby don't have any that are pressure treated. So I figured that the next best thing to do is to create my own 2x4s. So what I have is that I have a couple of spare 4x4 posts that I can use, and what I plan to do is to shave them down to put them into the 2x4 dimensions. Now, each of these I've already jointed and planed, so each side is equal to each other. It is square on all sides. So that is one of the most important steps you need to do when doing a project like this. And once again, that other video I will show you how to do that. But I will show you the planing part of it. But you will need to know about the jointing part, which again I will show in the next video. But for now, what we're going to do is put this down to size. I made a measurement on the deck outside from post to post, and it measured at about 4 feet 2¼ inch. So that's the first thing we're going to do. I have it on the miter saw, but I need to make the measurements. The saw is locked, so we are not going to be cutting anything. Nothing's going to be powered at this time. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a tape measure. We're going to go down until we see 4 2¼ inch, or 2 1/4. And let me fix it down here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my square, just to make sure that we got this straight down the middle. So, and 2 1/4, right about there. So we're going to do that, and we're going to take a pencil and make a line to mark where that is. And that is going to be our measurement of 4 2¼ inch. Now, as I said before, when you're making the cuts, you want to cut behind that line, otherwise you're going to be too short. So as usual, I'm going to be using my protective equipment. I got my earplugs, and I also have a brand new respirator. This is much better than the old one I have. This is a 3M 7500 respirator with P95 filters. Those are designed for wood dust. So if you're going to be doing long-term projects, highly suggest these. They're very comfortable. I'm just going to, I'm not going to put it on all the way, otherwise I'm going to be muffled in my talking. So I'm going to move my clamp over here so that my piece does not move anywhere. Okay, so like I said, we're going to move this down. I'm going to move the miter saw down a little bit since the thing is going all the way to the wall. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, we're not going to cut just yet. We got to make sure we are lined up. Once again, it has to be just behind that line, which now it is. So we're going to clamp this down. Just want to make sure that we are square. We are. Just double checking. All right, now I'm going to put my respirator on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure one more time just to make sure, do one more rehearsal, and then we'll make the cut, and we'll have our board. Yeah, just having the dust settle a little bit, so I'm going to cut a little ahead so that I can clean up some of the dust. Alright, so now that we have cut this down to length, now my next step would be to cut down to 2 inches wide. However, the problem is that the board is too tall for the table saw. That blade is all the way up, but that's as high as it can reach, and as you can see, that's not high enough. So I have a solution to that, and that would be the thickness planer. Now, like I said, 2 of the most important tools that you need as a woodworker is the jointer and the planer. As I'll explain in the next video, which will go into more detail about them, the jointer is more important as it creates the flat surface for one side, so it has a reference point for the thickness planer to go on. But because I've already jointed this 4x4, we can go ahead and skip that step and go into the thickness planer. Now, as I will explain in the next video, it makes a copy of that for the opposite face, but it also cuts down to thickness. So as I'll come around to the front, how you want the thickness is done with this crank. This will go down lower or higher depending on how much you want. For now, we're going to try to go down to, I want this to go down to at least 2.5 inches. Try to give us something to work on. But this is going to be a very messy process because there will be a lot of wood chips. So this is where the respirator is really important. And just like the other tools, this one is loud. And by the way, this may take several passes because of how much it needs to be cut off. Now, as you can see, it's very messy. As if you look at the back, this is just from 3 passes. All of those wood chips came off of that. And we are just a little under 3.5 inches right now. So this is going to take a while. And like I said, the easier thing is just to go and buy a 2x4. Plus, this is going to put some work on the knives on the planer. So I'm going to continue working on this, and then we'll get to the table saw shortly. You know, a flaw in my plan just occurred to me. See, what my plan was to get it down enough to length so I could cut it like this. But it does not address the problem of the perpendicular plane, which is still above the saw blade. So even if I do cut it down this way, it's not going to work. Because even if I do try to cut it down this way, it's still not going to reach. So it looks like our planer is going to be our best bet here. It's really going to work into those knives inside the planer. And that's why it's much easier just to get a 2x4 from the store. But considering the situation I have right now where I don't have any 2x4s anywhere close to me, looks like this is going to be the best way I can do this. But like I said, if you're planning to get a 2x4, just go out to your local home improvement store and just buy one there. And just save your knives from wearing out quickly. We're going to continue on, and we're going to try to get this down to width, and we'll work on getting it up on the barrier. Well, it's not quite a 2x4, but it's definitely good enough for the deck. So I just got to sand this down, put some sealant on it, and then we'll get it installed. Okay, so as you can see, this barrier is starting to come out very well. As I'll explain in the other video, got the framing work out there, got a head start on building the actual barrier itself. But it did, like I said, it did occur to me that I need framing up here. So what the plan is that we're going to put it right behind this post and then connect it with this one. Of course, my original plan was to do a 4x4, but this electrical cable is in the way. And plus there is some space in between, so we can just sandwich it in between to kind of give it a little more leverage. And by the way, as you may have already noticed, we are past the halfway point of building this barrier. Now, this includes this kind of complex way of cutting this. Now, what I did for these 2 boards, not only did I do a miter cut here, but I had to make another cut to make it even with the post. In order to do that, you have to give it an opposite miter cut. So if you cut it 45 degrees to the left, give it 45 degrees to the right, and you'll have it flush with the post. A cross cut will not work in this situation. Okay, so let's see. So I got the supposed 2x4 here, the one that I've just made. We have our square just to make sure that everything is lined up. And of course I have my drill. So first up we need to align this. So let me see which way I'm going to put this. Put it this way. Just make sure it is lined up. Okay. And just make sure it is flush. Okay. Right now, I'm going to get my impact driver, which has the drill. And I'm going to start by putting it through this one board over here. And I'm actually going to have to switch hands because of the complexity of this. Now, I'm normally right-handed, but in this case, I'm going to have to go to my left hand. Make sure everything is flush. Okay. Okay, that was not exactly how I wanted it to go. But yeah, let me make sure. Okay. Just see, make sure everything's lined up real quick. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll bring it back in a minute. So we got the holes in there, and yes, I line it one more time. So we do have the holes in there, so it will align itself when we put the screws in. Okay. All right, I got the screws in my pockets. I'm going to go ahead and stick 2 of them in. Okay, now I need to grab my drill driver. I'm going to line this up one more time. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Okay. Okay, now we need to do the same thing to the other side. Okay. My square just fell on top of me. Okay. I think we need to check here. Figure out how to get this thing going here. Let's see. Yeah, it should be good. Now in this case, doesn't have to be perfect because I do plan to put a railing on top of this. So for me, it's not that big a deal if it's just a tiny bit off. This is just to get a good backing for the rest of that barrier. We'll do the same thing for the other side, but for now that is it. I'll get the rest of the barrier pieces up, and that video will be coming soon. Till then, I'll see you guys later.